Today we're at a Mazda dealer, and I haven't been to a Mazda dealer yet, so this is sweet. Did you make this hutch?
Yes, I did.
That's sweet.
Put your plug in here, connect your air hose here. They're so much nicer than the long ones. He's like, dude, just get the full set. He wasn't wrong. And it's still going strong.
Oh, you like keep it locked up, huh?
These sales will come and snag it.
Today, we've got Seth, man. Thank you
How's it
so
going?
much for meeting up with me.
No problem.
This your setup here?
This is mine. This is my home.
This is awesome. So we're here at Mazda. How long have you been here?
I've been here 14 years.
14 years.
Yep.
So has your whole career been Mazda based?
Most of it. I've been here 14 years. I've been wrenching probably 18, 19. 2 other independent shops. Mazda Master Certified Technician.
Are you a fan of the Mazda brand?
Total fan of the Mazda brand.
Are
Love
you?
the Mazda brand.
Huh.
A lot of their stable cars, like solid cars, good cars. I like the way they're going. They're not going full EV yet, but they are kind of dabbling and dipping their toe in it.
We talked off camera earlier. You said there was a diesel in there.
Yep, there's a diesel model they have that does really well outside the U.S. The Mazda 2 doesn't do that well in the U.S., but it does great everywhere else for the compact size.
So you got a snap-on box here. How long have you had this?
I've had the lower half for probably 8 or 9 years.
Okay.
The locker's probably half that.
Did you make this hutch?
Yes, I did.
That's sweet.
There came a point where I couldn't really go any further out, and so I was like, I need to go up.
Oh, that's awesome.
But I didn't want the traditional hutch, and so I just kind of, I painted it black, but it uses the same holes that my handle would go in.
Ah, okay.
So it's supported on this end that way, and then I just have it sitting on top of the locker on this side.
That's sweet. I love how much headspace you have.
That was one of the reasons I wanted my custom one, because some of those other ones I feel like I don't have the same. So when I traded in for this one, I actually had a matching lower for this that was considerably smaller than this.
Okay.
But I liked this, and this has turned into kind of my speed drawers of random partsness. So I wanted to keep it. I didn't want to get rid of it. And I liked having the space up here. So that's why I kind of went with making my own thing.
So much ingenuity here. This is so sweet.
And then it makes it nice so I have a spot that I can stick. Like there's side-by-side bolts here, Mazda parts here, my truck oil filters, aftermarket air hoses for like turbos back there. Stuff that I use but not very often.
So what all do you keep like in this upper portion here? Is this just kind of...
This upper one, brushes for grease and different greases and stuff that I use. These are probably technically bad batteries, but I can still use them in certain tools. These ones are still batteries that I use very often.
What is that?
That's a phone holder.
Whoa, that's cool. I didn't know Snap-on made a phone holder.
I love it because I can put it anywhere I want.
Nice.
There's times that if I'm working and I want my phone near me, I can pop it there. Under car light that I needed somewhere to store it that was out of the way.
Man, I love that. You got power going on in here, LEDs. That's sweet.
And then if I need a magnifying glass and light.
What? That's awesome.
Every now and again, especially if I get a sliver.
Oh yeah, sure.
But it makes it really nice for, those little tiny jobs that we don't get very often, but now and again you need to see something.
Sure.
I have a 12-volt power supply that I have hooked up here, and then I got cables for it so that we can do a lot of parts testing just right here.
So being here at Mazda, do you guys typically work just straight Mazda, or do you have other brands?
I tell people we specialize in Mazda, but we work on anything. There's days that this half the shop will have nothing Mazda. It'll be all other makes, but that side will be all Mazda, and then there's other times that you'll see nothing but Mazda in here. At our dealer, we do have a whole used car department. We do the used car reconditioning, and so we'll work on just about anything. So I got so this one I use for my everyday stuff.
Okay.
And this one I kind of meant as like a specialty / not everyday stuff type thing.
Yeah.
So let's start here.
Having a cart, do you typically just stay in these 2 bays, or do you kind of move around the shop?
I pretty much just stay in these 2 bays.
Okay.
But having the cart, if I am doing something over there, it's nice to be able to just move this with me and just have it a little bit closer, so I'm not having to go back and forth so much. And there's times that, like, if I'm doing an alignment and I know I'm going to have sockets and wrenches that I'm going to need, it's nice that I can dump what I don't have in there on it and then take it down to the alignment rack.
Oh, is that it down there?
Yeah, okay. Down on the floor at the very end.
And you keep a bunch of stuff on the back here too, huh?
Yeah, actually all over. So when I pull it out, this is actually the Napa cart.
Okay.
That I bought from one of the other guys, actually, when he was gonna leave. He didn't want to take it with him. So I rigged up the Harbor Freight side tray.
Nice.
So that I can have an extended workspace if I want it. Soft blow, brass hammer, and a gigantic sledgehammer on the side. These 2 hammers I use almost every day. I love these U-bolt hooks. I mean, yeah, you have to drill a hole, but they're solid and they never bend, and they're never in my way. But then on the back, I've added, so I keep spare magnet trays, my knee pad, but then I bolted up a spark plug cleaner.
Oh, sweet. What kind of spark plug cleaner is that?
So you just pop this out. It's the Harbor Freight.
That's Harbor Freight, okay.
Put your plug in here, connect your air hose here, and then the button's right here.
Huh. I think you're the first, like, I've seen them before, but I think you're the first person on the show to have one of those.
Yeah, and we use it. My boss will come bug me. He's like, I need your spark plug cleaner.
Yeah.
So I'll pull it out and he'll hook it up. This is all my go-to stuff that my everyday. These 2 I use every day.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Actually, and that one. I use all 3 of those every day, multiple times. My favorite pliers that I have different ones. I have needle nose, the blunt nose, the Knipex, and these are the Icon ones that were meant as the hose clamp pliers or hose pliers. Mm-hmm. They're so much nicer than the long ones that you have to grab sometimes. I have different ratchets that I use all the time. So I actually have 2 of this one. These 2 are the exact same body. Uh-huh. This one's got a 3/8 insert and this one's a 1/4 inch. Enough people were asking for a 3/8 in a smaller body. I use this one all the time. I love my 1/4 inch long reach snap-on, but it doesn't always get to where I need it to. I usually like this one more than I like my Matco 1/4 inch, but only because it's got the swivel head. And so there's times like I can break it free and then I can just twist it like a screwdriver. My 3/8, I love long reach. Like when he came in and showed me this is my go-to, this is my second. And it's the same thing, it's just this one's got the comfort grip and doesn't flex.
And I even noticed you have magnets in the front here too. That's sweet.
So I have, all my pliers that I use every day are there. Sockets, these are all metric. 8, 10, 12, 8, 10, 12, 8, 10s. These used to fit our oil drain plugs. At one point, Mazda was doing an Allen head plug. It was the dumbest thing they ever did. But I have my different adapters for the different style bits and stuff.
And I see a light here. Is this your go-to light there?
That's one of them.
Okay.
I have a bunch of different lights. I like my lights. Yeah. I carry 3 on me. If I need one, this is my favorite go-to.
Okay.
Under a car, I have this one that I like from Snap-on. This one I usually use under the hoods.
That's
a lot of times, and it ratchets.
So you have a Snap-on powered? Are you Snap-on for all your power tools?
And Milwaukee.
Oh, and Milwaukee. Okay.
But I've had the Milwaukee 3/8 and it doesn't stand up to the Snap-on 3/8. I'm on my second one. The first one I wore the switch out, and I had it rebuilt, and I use that every day, hands down. My other one is the Snap-on long reach. I've had this one rebuilt once too. I do have an old school Milwaukee. I think they're on a different upgraded version now. This thing is old and definitely does not have the power of that.
Oh, okay.
So I'll use this if I don't need it like super tight. But yeah, I love my Snap-on. I've got the impact driver and the drill.
Okay.
That all use the same battery as that one.
That's kind of a neat organizer. Where's that from?
I hand built that.
No way.
It's actually made out of wood.
Oh, that's awesome.
With noise and vibration dampening pads from the NVH kit. Made it nice because then I can store my my mini ratchet that I don't use all the time, but when I need it, it's handy.
So you don't use much air here?
No, I do. I use my 1/2-inch gun.
Yeah.
Is air that I use the majority of the time. If I don't need a 1/2-inch, that's my go-to. And if that doesn't break it free, then I have the air one of 3/8, but most of the time that'll do the job. 1/2-inch sockets, tall and short, and with the exception of a couple that I had to specialty buy, like my 23, they're all Harbor Freight. 21 and 22. This is how long I spent in the lube bay doing tire rotations.
Yeah.
They're from the same set, but the 21 looks almost chrome because I've used it so many times. I think this one is Matco. One of these that's Snap-on, but I don't know which one.
So you mentioned Matco and Snap-on. Do you get all the trucks out here?
We see, funny enough, we see Snap-on regularly, Cornwell regularly. We see a Mac guy. He usually hits Honda and Volkswagen and then skips us for some reason. We don't know why. But it's kind of the same way with Matco. I've been friends with the Matco guy for years. He'll come here. He skips Honda and Volkswagen. Really? Other pliers that I use every day, but not as much as those.
What's going on there? Is that like extensions?
Yeah. So that was it's a standard pliers rack.
Okay.
But these ones, the handles stick up so tall that they always flop over. And so I just rigged some hanger.
It's genius.
And I think at one point I zip tied them, but I think I took it apart and wrapped some electrical tape around it just to kind of make them taller.
Yeah.
So they don't fall over all the time. 3/8, so I do have my adjustable pry bars here that I like these. I use those a lot. 1/4-inch and 3/8. These are actually matching sets from Matco. Buy the 3/8, you get the tall 1/4-inch for free.
Oh, nice.
And I think it was the same when I got the stubbies. These were a recent acquisition from Snap-on that do really well on light duty stuff that aren't quite as torquey as that and won't break them, but interior stuff do fantastic on. The other ratchets and stuff that I like, but I don't use as much.
That's a cool looking set there.
Yeah, I actually just got this, but it's got 1/4-inch drive on, but then there's also a hex drive on the bottom. So like if you need a little bit more torque, it'll still fit in a socket.
Oh, okay. Huh.
I do love my not Snap-on. This one's Vim tools, 1/4-inch that you can actually just use an extension as their handle. So you can make it as small or as big as you want. I love the tiny obscure stuff because I can go from really big to really tiny depending on where I need it to be. I made a bunch of these that are bit holders.
Oh,
they're 3D
so you can use your
printed,
fingers.
and then you stick a magnet in the bottom.
That's awesome.
Because there's been a bunch of times that I haven't used that one, but there's been a bunch of times where we need to get in somewhere, and this will let you grab your little bit without dropping it.
That's cool.
There's actually MAZDA CX-5 shift switches, the neutral safety switch basically. every now and again you go to put the car in park and it'll like it's in park, but the dash thinks it's not. It's that switch going bad, and there's 2 little screws that you can't get a full screwdriver on it. It's easy to break it free with like this setup.
Okay.
And then, but then it's easier to just screw it out with that. So I actually made a couple of these and gave them to a couple of guys in the shops, or in our shop, and they use the crap out of it.
Yeah, I'm just seeing what are those things there?
These are just magnetic. I don't even know what you want to call them. I actually got them from our tint guy, but I use them for frames on cars so that I can hang my fender mats.
Oh, that's cool.
Because sometimes they don't want to hang on a car.
Sure.
The way that they're meant to. And so I added loops to it.
Look at that.
So that way, if it's got a metal core support, then I can just put those on it and hang it from it and have it hold it up there and not scratch the car.
Yeah.
And wrenches. I love the long Matco 0 offset, but they have the ratcheting flex head. Originally, I was only going to buy, I think, the 14 and 15 on the 2nd and 3rd gen Mazda 3s. The tensioners, the 0 offset, you have no room to get in there, but they're super stiff and tight, so you need the extra length. That I was just going to buy the 2, and the guy that I was working next to, he had the full set, and he's like, dude, just get the full set.
Really?
He wasn't wrong. This one I use for like all my other odds and ends. I got a couple knives, stubby screwdrivers, different bits, my picks and punches, magnets, other odds and ends that I use all the time. Tire valves so if I'm doing a set of tires, instead of having to pull the core out, I just stick these on and it lets all the air out. And then I don't have to pull the core, because there's been so many times where we've had the cord strip and then you have to get a whole stem, and sometimes that's pricey. And
you're right. And I guess just real quick, this is like have your computer set up and stuff? This is sweet.
Stuff that actually, a lot of this stuff is stuff that I do reference. Like if we print a TSB or something, I keep it. Some of those other books up there are from training. Extra wires, extra hoses, spare Mazda parts.
Yeah, I see you got a lot of stuff going on in those drawers.
This is actually spare interior parts. So we've had a whole bunch of the Mazda Connect switches that go bad. People spill on them and they get sticky.
Oh, okay.
If I get bored, I can take them apart and clean them. See, like that one's got sticky all over it.
Huh.
That one's not sticky, but you know, we replaced it for some reason. This actually came in handy yesterday. A customer came in for a screen replacement. The screen was separating on the inside. Well, he put the screen together, he switched the screen, went to plug it back in, and nothing came. Like the radio started, but the screen was never lit up. Oh. And I actually had a whole separate screen that we were like, well, let's try this screen. And he plugged it in and it lit up. Oh. So we were like, oh, well, you did something to that one. So we were able to switch enough parts around that I now have the one that doesn't work.
Oh, okay.
And the customer left with one that worked. And they didn't have to pay for an extra part. So. Yeah.
That's sweet.
It works out now and again.
Yeah, definitely pays to have like some known good parts around.
And I have done little things though, like I did play with the trim a little bit just because I wanted to change it just a little bit. The matte black attracts so much dust.
Does it?
That there's so many days like I'll drive a car in, and from back there you can see the fingerprints and dust just everywhere, and it's like, oh. Really? Like, it's just black. I hate black. Never go black again. But I did take clear shield. So our automotive clear shield that we use on the paint protection, I put strips of it on the top of my drawer, the drawer tops, just to give it that gloss black look for the gloss black trim instead of flat black.
Yeah, that's nice.
So it kind of, like, this didn't get it, but this is how that came, was just a gloss black trim. And then these were gloss black.
Gotcha.
So I just wrapped the top of it with the clear shield, and it kind of helps roll the gloss black look. Yeah, top drawer, I got extra pliers, extra sockets. So we don't do a whole lot of standard, but every now and again we do need a standard.
Yeah.
So I do have standard stuff all here, 1/4, 3/8, and 1/2 inch. Allen sockets. These ones are standard, these ones are metric. Star bits, impact driving sockets.
And these organizers, what are these?
So these are actually just the socket organizers from Lowe's.
Oh, really? Huh.
But they come with the little plastic clips that you can reorganize them. You just pop them off the tray. And so you have basically unlimited, like, you can organize it however you want. I've liked having to be able to move things around it how I want.
What is that?
Which one?
This blue.
Oh, this is the lower half of a hub scrubber.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So it's got a plastic socket.
Gotcha.
That it's got like the it's got like this style, but it goes onto here. But it's got a hole in it, so you can do like around lug studs.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then I have long reach Allens, torque adapters, more spark plug sockets for if those ones don't reach. And an old school Pittsburgh pass-through set.
Look at that, that's cool.
That I actually did use one of those for a recall for years.
Did you?
Right after the 3s came out, there was a brake recall, and we had to go in and take a nut off the e-brake. And that was the easiest way I found, was
really?
to use a pass-through, and had the right angle without getting in the way of things, and electrical pliers, smaller pliers, all the rest of the pliers.
Nice. What are these?
These are like European style, so like you can pull, because Europeans use lug bolts, not lug nuts. So you can pull 1 or 2 of them out, stick these into place, and then you can pull the other ones and not have the wheel fall.
Right, okay.
So it basically like lets you have a thing that you can hang the wheel from.
Gotcha, okay.
And not have it kill you, because you know some of those Beamer wheels are freakishly heavy.
So are Mazdas tied into any other company? I know they used to be with Ford for a while.
So we split ties with Ford in 2012 or 2013. We've been on our own for years. We are starting to collaborate with Toyota. Their CX-50s were made by TMC Corporation, TM Corporation, which is Toyota Mazda Corporation.
Oh, huh.
This is kind of one of my favorite drawers. These are actually Toolbox widgets.
Okay.
That I knew how I wanted to organize it, but nobody had one, and then I saw Toolbox widget and went, oh, that's how I did it. I don't even remember how many sets this is, but I'm pretty sure I need like another probably 2 or 3 sets.
It's kind of nice that you can like push 2 wrenches.
Weave them?
Yeah, it looks like it saves space.
And they're offset just a little bit.
Nice.
Just so they don't run into each other.
Yeah.
And then it gave me enough room that I can run my short stubbies down here.
You know, I think you're one of the first techs that I've seen run wrenches up and down. Usually everybody runs them this way. This seems like, seems nice. You put all your wrenches over there, and then over here you got other stuff. That's awesome.
Well, and some of these take up so much space. I mean, even here you can see how much space that takes out versus if I had another set, they'd take up probably 1/3 of that, or not half, maybe a little over half that space.
What is that?
That's an 02 socket wrench.
Really?
So it's meant as a ratchet.
Whoa, that's cool.
So it's made to, so you can put it on your 02 socket or 02 sensor, and then it'll ratchet around it, and then you got to get it all the way back around. Well, once you get it out, you can just pull it out, but sometimes the wiring won't go through, so you put it back to the opening. And
who makes that?
I don't remember. Oh, Tribus? I think I got it off the Matco truck.
Yeah, I think they went out of business. That looks
got
cool.
So you can change the length.
Whoa, that's cool.
It's got some weight to it, so it's not like
it looks heavy. Holy crap, that's heavier than I thought. 3D printed.
Yeah.
Adjustable wrench.
So my dad printed that for me actually years ago, before I got my 3D printer, and so I just leave it in there for fun. Not like it's actually strong enough to really do anything. In fact, I'd probably break it if I did try to use it.
Yeah.
But you know, it's fun. Everyone teases me for this one, but I've actually used that a number of times.
Really?
For tight reach places, EGR tubes, because it's got the socket, so you can use an extension for a 3/8 ratchet.
Huh.
Or you can just stick a 3/8 ratchet on it, but it works just like an adjustable wrench. Just
like
smaller.
Adjustable crow's foot kind of thing.
Yeah. So belt tool.
Okay.
And if these are my go-to alignment wrenches, but if these don't work, that's why I keep pipe wrenches.
Oh, nice.
For the really stiff tie rods that won't turn.
Yeah.
And we have a torch down there too.
Okay. Nice.
It can't be tight if it's liquid, right?
There you go.
So then, yeah, back to the screwdrivers. Basically anything with a handle that's like a hand type tool. So I have non-marring plastic picks that I use for some of the body stuff. And at one point we actually were doing seat covers. You could upgrade your seats to the leather seat covers and add heated seats.
Oh.
Most of the time now they come with it, so we don't have to worry about it anymore. But at one point we were doing them, and I liked those because they wouldn't tear the leather. And I have just the other random bits that I don't have in there, that I don't use as often.
That's a nice bit holder.
I actually 3D printed that.
Did you really? That is awesome.
Because it was one of those Harbor Freight, just the universal bit kit.
Okay.
But it took up so much space that I was like, I need to condense some of this somehow. And I jumped online and found a print for it. And at first I was like, oh, this is going to be way too many. I don't need that many. But then I started counting and was like, oh, well, maybe I do need that many. So
a little set here too, like micro.
Yep.
Who makes that?
Pittsburgh.
Oh, that's Harbor Freight. Huh. Nice.
This is actually for Zeus clips.
Okay.
Which we don't see very often, but every now and again. But sometimes the screwdriver just won't work. I actually got this one, so I did a bunch of side-by-side roofs, aftermarket, that they Zeus clipped their roofs down.
Oh, okay.
And saved my butt. Because there was once that I didn't have that, and I used a screwdriver, and it slipped and put a big old scratch in it.
Oh.
The guy was not happy.
Oh, I bet. Is that a MAZDA snap-on ratcheting?
Yes.
That's
It's
sweet.
actually, so funny story, I've actually had this for years, training in Kansas City, but they were getting ready to close that facility. And so one of my last sessions there, the guy was like, oh, here, he's like, I know you guys aren't master techs, but we're just giving stuff away now. And so he gave them to us, and I kept mine, and now I am a master tech.
There it
so I don't even think they offer this one anymore.
I like your little organizers here. They're like just tall enough to fit in this drawer.
Yep.
That's cool. Where'd you get those?
I think I just got them on Amazon, but I think they're just like desk organizers.
Yeah, that's sweet.
I think it came in a set that I use the round ones. to hold my customer keys.
Huh. And is this like a marker, or is that something special?
This is actually a
That's a pocket screwdriver too. Oh wow.
But it's more of a, I have so many of these, but they don't make these anymore either. I have them thrown everywhere. There's one in my travel luggage. Just, you know, those random times that you need a screwdriver.
Yeah.
But there's enough times that I want something deeper that won't go into.
Sure.
I did make, however, I did 3D print a small version
That's
of
neat.
a bit driver. One of them there, that one's got the bits in it.
Whoa.
And then there's a magnet in the bottom of that too, so you can.
Look at that. Huh.
I have used it a couple times.
Have you? And you mentioned your dad. Is that where you got your passion for working on cars?
No, he's actually an electrical engineer.
Okay.
So my uncle taught me how to do brakes in my grandparents' driveway. And I've always been into mechanical things. I'm a typical mechanic that I have Legos.
Yeah.
That I've always been into mechanical things, but I didn't know what I was doing until later in life.
So did you go to school for automotive?
I did. I went to UVU and got my associate's degree just down the hill.
Nice.
I actually grew up here. In fact, my parents lived just a mile or two that way.
Well, that's convenient.
And actually at one point I lived around the corner from them. So I had a really short commute.
Thanks.
We recently relocated, but this is the oopsie drawer. The drill bits, these are metric.
Okay.
These ones are the hyper step.
Okay. Yeah.
That he came in to demo them, and I drilled through a brake rotor and went, okay, I need a set of those. Left-handed drill bits. Those have saved my butt a number of times, or broken studs. Picks that I use for decarbon. We do have the direct inject carbon issues that if we have to go in and scrape the carbon, that's the picks that I use. Thread repair. I like this more for these, the files. So you can just file the threads back and then run a tap over it. Different extractors. I do have to use this one quite a bit. This is the locking socket removal tool for when you lose your locking lug socket. It works. It's definitely paid for itself. And the stud remover, it's paid for itself a number of times.
Oh yeah.
So you can just go in and it locks on itself and pulls it off.
I'm curious, what's this thing?
This?
Yeah.
This is just so one of my buddies gave it to me. It's called a thread wizard. If you have a bunch of bolts that are gooey or whatever, then you can find your right size hole and then just run it through, and there's a
brush in there.
There's a wire wheel in there.
What?
So you can just run your bolt through it and run it back out. I usually take my gun and just in and out.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it takes all the crap and build up and gives yourself a clean bolt. And if I need to, I can just loosen that and spin the wire a little bit. This is getting a little more into the specialty stuff. Wire brushes, knife sharpeners, brake stuff. I can count on one hand the amount of times I've had to use the flare tool.
Yeah.
But I have had to use it a couple times.
Nice.
Axle poppers, pickle forks.
Cool.
Rivet tool.
What is this?
That's just a knife sharpener. It's like,
but
it's usually like a barbecue set.
Gotcha.
This is the fun drawer. I got my air hammer stuff.
Oh, Matco air hammer. Huh. Does that hit pretty hard?
Yeah,
Does it?
it hits decent. I have no complaints with it. Actually, other than the fact that it likes to twist free on me.
Oh, okay. I used to have a Blue Point one that did that.
All my different bits. I actually have more bits, spare bits up there. I use these a lot, soft shackles. And I actually took a seat belt and just took a couple of random hooks and had my mom sew it together.
Nice.
And I use it for like engine hoists.
That's awesome.
For like, you know, and then I use the soft shackles if I need to lift something and not have it marred up or whatever.
Sure.
But I mean, seat belts stuff, I mean, there's no tears or anything in it.
Yeah.
That stuff's pretty strong by itself.
Absolutely.
So, and she sold the ever-living crap out of it.
That thing's never coming out.
So I actually use this quite a bit. And then you got your normal cleaner pad, wire wheels, cut-off wheel. For the days that I'm getting really crazy and need every air tool out, I have an adapter so I can put multiple hoses on.
Awesome.
So I don't have to sit there and change.
Right.
And I have used this quite a bit, just a little Milwaukee hacksaw. The 90-degree drill has saved my banking.
Has it?
A lot of times. Because there's a lot of times that the air drill is way too long to get anywhere.
Okay, yeah.
Especially when you add a drill bit to that versus that. Will fit in a lot better place. Plus, I do a lot of I'm the only one that in the shop that will willingly do exhaust manifold studs.
Oh, okay.
And we see a lot of the Dodges that have the broken manifold studs. The EcoBoost Fords that break the studs. And I actually have the template drill kit thing. So you can center it and drill it without drilling through the block.
Yeah.
Makes the job go so much quicker. Of all the box, I hate this drawer the most. So maybe I just need to reorganize it, but you know. I got my straps, a regular hammer, the powered hacksaw.
Okay.
Giant socket wrench that I don't think I've used this one ever. But I have actually used that one, and that's Pittsburgh. I've used that a number of times to bend something back straight.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's really easy. You just stick it on the metal that you need bent and let you tweak it just where you need it. Brake bleeding stuff. I do have a strut compressor. My break-in kit.
Nice.
This is the box for the power supply. This is soldering iron. I don't really get into that stuff a whole lot if I don't need to.
Do you mostly crimp when you're doing wire repairs?
Most of the time, yeah. Half the time, most of the time nobody wants to pay for the wiring repair. I mean, there's been a lot of times where we've seen harnesses chewed up from either a wreck or mice or whatever that sometimes people will pay for it because they have to, but most of the time MAZDA just recommends replacing the whole harness. And a lot of times that's the smarter thing to do because you don't know what else is damaged. These I got off Amazon. They're just you can hang it from the door check.
Was that like a step?
It's a step, so you can get stuff on the roof.
Nice.
We have installed a lot of roof racks and crossbars. This is kind of my junk drawer slash, it's got a little bit of everything. It's got my USB stuff that I use, spare pencils, spare screwdrivers, stuff that I use but not a whole lot. My kind of my specialty small drawer. So like stud installer bearings. This is actually a tool for the MAZDA Speed, the turbo, like the MAZDA Speed 3s. This is an injector puller.
Oh.
The injectors are always get carbonized and stuck inside the head, and then you slide this over the top of the injector and it just works like a mini slide hammer and pulls it out. Mirrors, but then I got my timing tools, so the MAZDA timing tools, I have my own set. And then this is the other half. These ones are the plates for the other end. and the pins for the crank. So basically any of the specialty stuff that I use but don't want it getting lost in there. I keep battery caps so that if I disconnect the battery it doesn't short on itself. Bolt I actually use for reinstalling the crank. There's a little tiny hole that's for an alignment, so this bolt's my alignment bolt. This one I use for hose clamps, like if there's a recall where we have to pull off the power steering hose. This bolt fits perfectly in the hose.
Okay.
The Sky Active timing covers, the bolt or the belt tensioner goes in one hole, but to set it all, they say just to use a random bolt. I painted mine red, so I stick it in that hole and let the whole thing dry, and then I'll pull it back out and put my tensioner on.
Oh, okay.
And then your hole's not gummed up. This I 3D printed. It's a radiator petcock. So you can't get your fingers on it.
Oh, that's
this
genius.
Will go on and just break it free. And
yeah, and sometimes they're like ridiculously tight.
yeah, exactly.
That's cool.
But you also don't always have room to get a pair of pliers in there. And so I found this and was like, oh,
that's awesome.
I've actually used that. And what's funny is that this is the original size that it came, and I was like, that's too small. So I had to make it bigger, and I've actually used it a number of times. So this is kind of turned into my precision drawer that I got my different slide, my caliper gauges.
Nice.
Haven't had, this was a recent acquiring. I haven't needed them yet, but I figured that kind of the right drawer for them to go in. Different torque wrenches. Yes, I know these usually can now come in a set, but I got these two separate so they don't match. Definitely worth their weight in gold.
Yeah.
And I kind of like having this one as the old style, click style. But this one has been amazing. Smattering drawer that I got. I have zip ties, I have a K&N air cleaner kit, steel wool, duct tape, some of these boxes. So these are old brake pad boxes that I've turned into different toolboxes, so to speak.
Yeah, that's nice. Kind of keeps things organized.
And I can just label the back of the side of it, and then I know exactly what's in every single one of them. So all the different socket rail clips are in this box. All the extra tool widget stuff that are mostly just spacers are in this one. Random cotter pins, rivets, hose clamps. A lot of the stuff we actually have too, but sometimes it's nice just to have it where I can closely just grab it rather than have to go all the way into parts for it.
Sure.
And then we get to the locker. My up top area, so I have my nut container that's just spare assortment of nuts. Right. So these buckets usually come with our wheel bearing, our hub bearings. Oh. They come in this, and they're just so the studs don't get damaged, and they're a decent strong container. Well, I turned them into parts containers. So I have washers, screws, plastic clips. I have one that I have extra test sensors for when I'm diagnosing cars. Spare caps and plugs for, during engine swaps and stuff. An assortment of tow hooks for when, you have that car that got dropped off that won't start. And then I have a whole bucket of MAZDA style lug nuts.
Oh, nice.
Because, every once in a while you do one, you destroy one, and I don't want to have to go looking for one.
Yeah.
So I have my coolant bucket up here.
Okay.
So I actually use this bucket for when I do headlight restoration. I just dump this stuff into this and use it so I have water next to me and wet sand the headlight. I have my giant pry bar. This hook is actually where this usually lives.
Oh, okay.
But I love these. These are actually fairly new because you can put them.
Whoa, that's cool.
And I mean, they're soft, so they're not gonna damage anything.
Yeah.
But they'll hold. I mean, this one's actually. These are more of just guides. They are magnetic, and they were holding this, but they were sliding. This one doesn't slide because this thing's heavy.
Where'd you get those from?
These ones I got from Cornwell.
Cornwell, huh?
But I noticed that Matco's Flyer has gator hooks in their magazine this month.
Huh.
But I got mine from Cornwell first. But you can put them anywhere you want and just latch them, and
Look at that.
they're pretty solid. But I have my dealer plate, my personal scan tool that I use for resetting lights, my power probe, and my meter that I keep so I can easily just grab them.
Is that the Matco meter?
Yeah.
Okay. Does that work pretty good for you?
Yeah, I liked it.
Is that Power Probe pink?
Yes, it
That's
is.
cool.
I got it from Matco too, but I bought it years ago. It was my way of, because obviously it's pink, it was for breast cancer awareness.
Right.
And so I was like, it's kind of my way of saving the tatas.
That's awesome.
Then I have all my extra blow molds, my cooling tester. So this is the Harbor Freight water box that I just have my Amazon borescope.
Nice. Does that one work pretty good?
Yeah, for an Amazon.
Yeah.
Compression tester, brake kit, different line removal kit, all the different blow molds. This one is an induction heater.
Okay.
I love that one. My ball joint set, and this is the reason I love this locker and why I got this setup.
Oh man.
Is because this used to live in that bottom drawer and could only go this direction.
Oh, okay.
And when I saw the locker, I was like, wait, how deep is it? And I realized that I could put this in standing up, and I can still shut the door. I was like, done, sold. My big tap and die set here, fan clutch, slide hammer, race drivers, fuel injection test kit. Oh, this is a harmonic balancer puller. This is my small jumper, the NOCO. It's not Rockford.
Oh, it's a legit NOCO. Okay, that's your small one. That looks like a bigger one.
No, this is the small one. I also have the, but I keep mine locked up so nobody steals it. I have one of the giant Matco ones.
Oh, that's sweet.
Right, this thing is actually, I should probably charge it. It's from 2013.
And it still works?
And it's still going strong.
Whoa. Oh, you like keep it locked up, huh?
Yeah, it's just a bike cable.
Okay.
Sales will come and snag it,
Oh,
and
I
I won't see it.
Just walk away.
I won't see it for weeks. So I love grip mat, and grip mat now you can get with Toolbox widget.
Oh, okay.
They actually partnered. But these ones I bought from grip mat before they were with Toolbox widget.
Yeah, I'm curious. What is this? What is that watch-looking thing?
This was Christmas from my dad. This is actually like a wrist mounted meter.
That's a multimeter?
Yeah.
What?
So you can just have it on your wrist, and it's auto ranging. So I actually do have a battery here out of my side-by-side that you can turn it on, and it does its own. It'll tell you volts.
That's awesome. I wonder when that would come in handy.
Yeah, I've actually thought of a number of times, like if I'm doing quick, like because it'll also do like fuse testing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
With the auto function, it'll tell if you're looking for one thing or another, and So I'm like, I'll throw it on while I'm doing fuses, so that way I can just hold one and I can quickly just go through a fuse box, and it's actually been kind of handy. At first I kind of laughed when he gave it to me, and then I've actually used it, and it's actually been kind of handy.
Nice.
I'm like, okay. This is the rest of the electrical drawer. This is the extra stuff that goes with that.
Okay.
And actually, before this was here, this is where it lived. But I have the TikTok relay tester fuse buddy that's great for like tracking draws and drains. I got that thinking it would be great for wheel bearings, because some of our wheel speed sensors, a lot of people like to put the bearings backwards. It did what it needed to, but there's a lot better out there now than that. Battery tester, Noid lights, relay testers, and then all the other, spark plug tester, other little electrical tapes. This is my spare MAZDA key.
Holy cow.
And spare grease. This is actually from the Mazda 3 recall, the park brake recall. They give you more grease than you need. They give you 2 of these for each one, and you can get away with just one for both sides. That it's like, okay. So this is how many of those I did. That I squeezed them all into one jar at one point.
Oh man.
Clutch alignment, AC leak, my thermometer, block tester, the blue fluid that turns yellow. I actually do have a spark plug tester.
Oh yeah.
That's been handy. I use the air vac for when I'm doing like cabin filter replacements. I have a random assortment of Mazda paint pens.
Oh whoa.
That they weren't selling, and parts was going to throw them away, and so I'm kind of their parts dumping ground. If they're going to throw them away, they usually bring them to me first, and I keep what I want.
That's a UV light there?
Yep.
Does that work pretty good?
Oh, this thing has been amazing. The Blue Point light,
it's Blue Point. Huh.
It's bright as hell.
That's awesome.
It probably needs charged, but yeah, it looks like it needs charged. It's usually bright as hell, and it'll light that whole thing up. So I also got the O light.
Oh, sweet.
That has the UV built in. That with this one, I don't need the yellow glasses.
Oh, okay.
So this is the one I usually grab nowadays. So I keep this one with me. I have this one that I use a lot, and then my other buddy got me stuck on the Olight Mini.
Oh, that's cool.
That you charge it from the USB back here, but it's magnetic. That I use this one for under dash and quick stuff that I just need to take a peek real quick. Tie rod kit. These are the exhaust manifold repair kits.
Oh, that's sweet.
So this will do both sides, and they come with different dies, so you can drill to the right size without drilling into the block.
Okay.
And if you use these to set up the depth of the drill, then you won't drill into the back of the block.
This is for the Ford?
This one's for the Ford. This is the EcoBoost, the 3.5.
Okay.
Because I have enough of these kits, I have one for the Ford 4.6, 5.4, and 6.8. So all the 2-valve stuff. And then I also have the same one for the Chevy 5.7 and the Dodge 5.7. They originally had their own box, but I noticed that the cutouts were for both. So I had the Chevy one at the bottom and the Dodge one on top.
Yeah, that's going to be a lifesaver.
Saves on space.
Lifesaver to have.
Oh, they save on so much time too. They've absolutely been worth their weight in gold. You know, hose clamp pliers, because they never fit anywhere. So I have like the rear axle bearing puller for the slide hammer.
Oh, okay.
This is for like trucks, which we do a few trucks, but not a whole lot. Power steering pump kit, lug nut ripper.
What's a lug nut ripper?
So we had a couple where Like if the locking lug nut or if the lug nut strips and you can't get it off, then somebody developed a tool that you can go in and drill the lug nut off without destroying the rim. It might tear up the lug or the stud depending on how thick it is. But
Dang.
the idea was to go in and drill out the lug nut without damaging the rim.
Whoa. Well, that's nice.
I've only used it once.
Oh, really?
So this is the Ford timing tool for the V6s that we were doing a crap load of the water pumps. The water pumps were timing chain driven.
Okay.
I got really good at those.
Did you?
They were like an 18-hour job that I could do in 12 to 14.
Really? Nice.
I got pretty quick at them, but I did enough of them that I bought my own cam holder set so that I didn't, screw up the engine. Ford EcoBoost timing kit. I think this is a Chevy. I think it's a Chevy.
Okay.
One of these is, oh yeah, and Jeep Dodge. So these are just timing tools that I got for different jobs that we see. This one a lot of people don't know about either.
What is that?
This is so I got it from Cornwell, but I think I've seen it on some of the other trucks. It's usually like a body repair tool. You can stick like around the trunk latch on the bottom, and then you lock the trunk on this.
Oh.
So that way if you need the trunk to like just part way open.
Oh, okay.
Which I've found handy for drilling out stripped license plate bolts, because because then you're not like down here.
Right.
But even like sometimes going straight on, sometimes it's easier just to leave it on the ground and just have it at that angle. Everything underneath is either spare, or we actually use this to tow in a lot of dead cars. I do keep a wooden block, for when you need a big wooden block, among other wooden blocks.
Nice.
Just lots of random odds and ends
Yeah.
for, whatever might come up.
Yeah. What's that cable that's going across?
It's for when I have my dog here.
Oh!
So
Okay.
I have a 20-pound mini golden doodle
Okay.
that he comes to work with me once a week or so,
Gotcha.
just to get him out of the house and break up the monotony. And,
Yeah.
he's not big enough to move my toolbox, but I don't really want him just wandering the shop.
Sure.
So I put him on that so that he can wander pretty much from there all the way over here. And he's
Awesome.
smart enough not to get under the car, that way he can come to work with Dad and not get into too much trouble. So
That's awesome.
I just leave it attached to my toolbox.
I love it. It just seems like if you want it, you just build it, and I love it because it makes it yours. It's not something that anybody else can just go out and buy.
Oh yeah, you want to see the tool room?
Oh, that'd be sweet. Yeah,
Come see our tool room.
let's check it out. Oh, there's a bunch going on in here, huh?
Yeah, this is where we keep all of our flush tools, transmission flush, power steering flush, coolant flush. We have both AC machines, 2 transmission jacks, our on-car brake lathe, off-car brake lathe.
Okay. Do you guys turn rotors quite often?
Yeah.
Do you? Okay.
Generally. Only 2 of us like this one. I think this one's faster.
Good. Okay.
It's also kind of more of a pain to set up.
Okay.
Like everyone can use that one, but I question whether or not they're actually doing it right because it squeals an awful lot. 2 different sets of dollies for moving dead cars. We actually don't use traditional floor dry. We use shredded coconut.
What? Shredded coconut, huh?
Because it absorbs so much better than the traditional kitty litter.
Does it?
And when you drop it, it doesn't go everywhere like kitty litter, but it absorbs like 3 or 4 times its weight.
Huh.
And this is all actually fresh stuff because it's not dark. This stuff should be thrown away because it's all dark.
Kind of absorbs the moisture.
Yep.
Huh.
But you can get 2 or 3 uses out of it before it needs recycled.
Huh.
But then this is our, we use this for when it's too rainy outside to do headlight restoration. This is all the MAZDA required stuff.
So anybody can come in here and use...
This is all shop owned.
Okay.
So this is the BG fuel injection cleaner kit. These 2 kits we actually made ourselves. Well, I actually made them. So there's actually a recall out there for the exhaust valve stem seals that leak, or they don't leak, but you abnormally consume oil. Somebody developed a tool that we can set it up on the motor, so this piece gets bolted to the back of the head.
Okay.
And then you use all these different attachments to go in, and you pull the whole valve spring off, and you pull the old valve stem seal off, and we reinstall a new one.
So you don't have to take the head off?
We don't have to take the cam off. You don't have to undo the timing.
Man, that's nice.
You just do two. You can, because there's 2 valves per cylinder. You can do 2 at a time, and you have to turn the motor in between every single one, or every other one. Because you make the piston come up, and it holds the valves from falling all the way in.
I see. Okay.
We have 2 of those because we were getting so many of them at one point that we were fighting over who got to use it. So we have 2 of those kits that I made boxes for both of. This is all the EV, the rubber coated tools, the rubber mat. Actually, this is the 360 target markers. This is the RX-8 for the rotary engines. This is the old rotary compression tester.
Whoa. How does that work?
So you pull one of the spark plugs out.
Okay.
Because they run 2 spark plugs per rotor. So you pull one of each out, and then you plug these in, and then there's an adapter for both of them that you plug that on, and then you plug rotor 1 into 1, rotor 2 into 2, and then you have to crank the motor over, and it'll run the numbers for you.
Really?
And basically tell you what your compression is.
So you can't use a regular compression tester? Okay.
Not on a rotary.
Oh.
Because of the Dorito motor and the way that it works, it's different than the 4-stroke SkyActiv terminal test kit that has all of our SkyActiv terminals. So all of our all the newer diagrams, they have multiple, like, they'll give you a wire number and a color.
Okay.
And you can actually go and find it on this to use it, so that you don't just jam a pin that doesn't fit. We actually have a pin that fits the right size.
The rotary stuff, do you deal with those anymore, the RX-8s?
We did a lot when I first started, but not as much anymore. They're few and far between anymore.
Oh, okay.
Most of the time, the ones that come in, it's almost always on the bad side of they're gonna need a motor. But we stopped making them so long ago that none of them are under warranty anymore.
Oh, gotcha.
So I mean, you're looking at a $5,000 motor. Most of the time, they've also fried the cat. That's a $4,000 cat. That most of the time, we can total a car out just by driving it in. So we don't see them as much anymore. Most people are opting to go other routes.
Gotcha.
But this is all of our Mazda stuff. So the brake recall, this is the brake tool that was for that. There was a strut recall at one point that we had to release the strut gas that after we replaced them.
Why do you have to release the strut gas?
Because they don't want us shipping them back
Oh, I
pressurized.
see. Gotcha.
So we have all of our, seal install tools, timing tools, O2 socket. Basically anything on the Mazda required tool list is going to be in here. This is for stretch belt removal. Oil seal. This is the Mazda injector seal kit. This one are not, but these three are. So the injectors, it used to be a spare one in here. They're these really small Teflon seals, single use, but you'll destroy it just trying to get them hand stretched on. So this just stretches them on, and then you push it back and it forms it the right way and turns a potential long job into a really quick job.
It's so nice that they have all these for everybody to use.
We have aiming stuff. This is actually brand new stuff that we just got for the 2026 CX-5. 360 aiming. More of the adapters and stuff. This is for the 90s actually. They sent us a kit that, so if you have to drop the motor down, not out, but if you have to drop it down to get into something, you can actually drop the whole subframe 1.5 to 2 inches, which gives you a little bit more clearance at the top to get to some of the back stuff that you didn't have room to before. There's longer bolts and spacers so you can tighten it back up, and it drops the whole thing down enough for you to work on it without pulling the whole thing out. See, we have the battery tray removal kit for the hybrid batteries. All the different hooks for to keep it level. We have pullers of all sorts. This one's actually handy for some of the axle sockets. Sometimes you can't get that stubborn axle to come out. You can put this one on and one of the other extensions, and then use a slide hammer, and it pops that axle right out. I think that was some of the spare tools from previous. These are current ones. We do have a timing wrench. Oh, there's the Mazda crimp tool. There's our CX-9 alignment tools. This is for an old recall. So, I mean, you might as well keep it.
Yeah.
Some of this stuff we haven't had to use yet. Like this we just barely got. I think it's a fuel tank removal tool, but we haven't even had to use it. It was kind of cool. We did get, where did it go? Yeah, here we go. Crankshaft pulley hold tool for the CX-50 hybrid. But notice it came with a Toyota sticker because it's actually a Toyota thing, but it's going to be the same thing as our CX-50 hybrid because it's basically a RAV4. So and a lot of this stuff is old, even before I was here stuff. And this was actually my first toolbox.
This red one here?
This red one.
Look at that. That's cool.
Yeah, I gave it the paint job. It was blue. I turned it red. I stuck it in here because I just couldn't bring myself to get rid of it. But
goodness, there's a bunch of in there.
So this is where all your lug nuts. If you get a CX-5 or a CX-50, any Mazda that's got black lugs, this is where all your lug nuts have gone to.
Wow. Holy
of them.
cow.
I didn't realize they're that. But it used to be just spare bolts.
Man.
And spare parts, like these are coils off of an old 6, I bet. Or an MPV, actually. There's more bolts.
Nice.
And then this is a Speed 3 injector fuel rail.
All kinds of stuff.
Spare throttle body off something. That's the shutter valve on an intake on a 3, I think. That's a crossover tube for a 6, maybe. These are Mazda 6. Just spare parts that were good, but no, they didn't have a home. I don't know where that came from. Or that. And this is our spare wiring and wire connectors. And
Well, Seth, thank you for showing us the tool room and your tools and everything. Man, I really appreciate
absolutely.
it. Before we close out, I do like to ask guys that have been doing this for a while. I mean, seeing as how you went from the Lube Bay, up to master technician, do you have any advice for guys that are looking to enter this industry, or if they have and they're just looking to move up?
School.
School, okay.
And stay teachable. Just the longer I've been doing this, the longer, like, everyone says, you know what you're doing? I go, no. I used to say yes, but now no. I learn stuff every day. I mean, I've been here 14 years, and I was helping one of the other guys on another car that he showed me a new trick that even I went, okay, that was really cool. There's stuff I'm still learning after
cool.
14 years. That just stay humble, stay teachable. It's the best advice I got.
I love that.
And I would have to say probably like get to a point where you can work with others. We have 9 techs in our shop, and there's days that it's just a giant party in here because we're all just kind of joking with each other. Mm-hmm. And we're all just kind of helping each other out. We're all doing our own thing, but we're all just like, it's really fun. It's nice to be able to say, hey, come throw a hand in here real quick. And they're like, okay. But then somebody else might go, hey, I need a hand here, or, So it's really nice to just have a whole shop that gets along really well with each other. We're actually kind of lucky right now that we have a lot of good guys that we all kind of get along with each other.
Well, Seth, thank you again for meeting up with me.
Absolutely.
Going through all your tools with us. That's really cool.
Glad to show.
Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, this is the first Mazda dealer I've been to, so this is really neat to see all the tools and meet somebody that actually works on these every day. But if you have a setup you'd like to have featured on this channel, you can meet me, or you can message me on Instagram, or just send me an email. Till the next one, we'll see you.